Chronicles 35. Josiah celebrated the Passover to God in Jerusalem. They killed the Passover lambs on the 14th day of the first month. He gave the priests detailed instructions and encouraged them in the work of leading worship in the temple of God. He also told the Levites who were in charge of teaching and guiding Israel in all matters of worship. They were especially consecrated for this. Place the sacred chest in the temple that Solomon, son of David, the king of Israel, built. You don't have to carry it around on your shoulders any longer. Serve God and God's people, Israel. Organize yourselves by families for your respective responsibilities, following the instructions left by David, king of Israel, and Solomon, his son. Take your place in the sanctuary, a team of Levites for every grouping of your fellow citizens, the laity. Your job is to kill the Passover lambs, then consecrate yourselves and prepare the lamb so that everyone will be able to keep the Passover exactly as God commanded through Moses. Josiah personally donated 30,000 sheep, lambs, and goats, and 3,000 bulls. Everything needed for the Passover celebration was there. His officials also pitched in on behalf of the people, including the priests and the Levites. Hilkiah, Zechariah, and Jehiel, leaders in the temple of God, gave 2,600 lambs and 300 bulls to the priests for the Passover offerings. Conaniah, his brother, Shemaiah, and Nathaniel, along with the Levitical chiefs, Hashabiah, Jehiel, and Jozabad, they donated 5,000 lambs and 500 bulls to the Levites for the Passover offerings. Preparations were complete for the service of worship. The priests took up their positions, and the Levites were at their posts as instructed by the king. They killed the Passover lambs, and while the priests sprinkled the blood from the lambs, the Levites skinned them out. When they set aside the whole burnt offerings for presentation to the family groupings of the people, so that each group could offer it to God following the instructions of the book of Moses, they did the same with the cattle. They roasted the Passover lamb according to the instructions and boiled the consecrated offerings in pots and kettles and pans and promptly served the people. After the people had eaten the holy meal, the Levites served themselves and the Aaronite priests. The priests were busy late into the night making the offerings at the altar. The Asaph singers were all in their places, following the instructions of David, Asaph, Haman, and Jeduthun, the king's seer. The security guards were on duty at each gate. The Levites also served them because they couldn't leave their posts. Everything went without a hitch in the worship of God that day as they celebrated the Passover and the offering of the whole burnt offering on the altar of God. It went just as Josiah had ordered. The Israelites celebrated the Passover, also known as the Feast of Unraised Bread, for 7 days. The Passover hadn't been celebrated like this since the days of Samuel the prophet. None of the kings had done it. But Josiah, the priests, the Levites, all of Judah and Israel who were there that week, plus the citizens of Jerusalem, they did it. In the 18th year of the rule of King Josiah, this Passover was celebrated. Sometime later, after Josiah's reformation of the temple, Necho, king of Egypt, marched out towards Sharchemish on the Euphrates River on his way to war. Josiah went out to fight him. Necho sent messengers to Josiah saying, "What do we have against each other, O king of Judah? I haven't come to fight against you, but against the country with whom I'm at war. God commanded me to hurry, so don't get in my way. You'll only interfere with God, who is on my side in this, and he'll destroy you." But Josiah was spoiling for a fight and wouldn't listen to a thing that Necho said. In actuality, it was God who said it. Though King Josiah disguised himself when they met on the plain of Megiddo, archers shot him anyway. The king said to his servants, "Get me out of here, I'm badly wounded." So his servants took him out of his chariot and laid him down in an ambulance chariot and drove him back to Jerusalem. He died there and was buried in the family cemetery. Everybody in Judah and Jerusalem attended the funeral. Jeremiah composed an anthem of lament for Josiah. Aw. The anthem is still sung by the choirs of Israel to this day. The anthem is written in the laments. The rest of the history of Josiah, his exemplary and devout life, conformed to the revelation of God. The whole story, from start to finish, is written in the royal annals of the kings of Israel and Judah by popular choice. Jehoahaz, son of Josiah, was made king at Jerusalem, succeeding his father.